occasionally I am known to get fixated on particular actors. Sometimes they're women, sometimes they're Rick Genasi, but when I'm in one of those stages, I tend to go down a rabbit hole, reading about this person, their bio, looking at their filmography, and I usually end up picking a random film, regardless of genre, and checking it out just because of that actor. The actor that inspired today's review is French, so that means I'm not going to be able to pronounce shit. Have you guys seen Don't Deliver Us from Evil? It's a French film, 1971. Maybe it's for the girls, I don't know, but it's about two teenagers who decide they're going to devote their life to Satan. I mean, what could be better? So one of the two lead actors in this movie is why we're here today. Jeanne Goupil. I hate French, but I love this girl, okay? So I don't know, I've just been thinking about her lately. I keep Googling her, I keep poking around in her filmography. And so I saw this film called Marie the Doll from 1976. And I did a quick little YouTube search and it was on there. So I just immediately watched it. Knew nothing, didn't read a description, didn't know the genre, the director, nothing. Turns out it is directed by the same guy who directed Don't Deliver Us from Evil, who apparently, Jeanne, I'm gonna call her Jane, I'm sorry, because that's like the Americanized. Apparently, Jane and this director got married, and they're still married today, it looks like, which is pretty cool. Joël Séria is the director's name. Marie the Doll is the movie I'm going to be talking about today. I watched it yesterday, and similar to the last video I just did, I watched it yesterday, woke up, and now I'm doing a semi-unscripted review. I'm just going off of my Letterboxd write-up. In terms of spoilers, I'm gonna talk about the whole movie except for the end. The like surprise ending. I'm not gonna talk about that, but I am gonna talk about the whole film up to the climax. But don't worry, because nothing really happens in this movie at all, except for that climax. So I have to talk about it. We are so blessed with this movie because we get to see so much of this actress, Jane. And I'm gonna be calling her Marie from now on because that's her character. We get so much good screen time with Marie and she's just a doll. Basically, the film starts off with Marie walking into this doll store, just wandering in. And this doll store is owned by this guy named Claude. And so the two of them strike up a conversation. She's not even that much into dolls, but somehow he keeps using that as like this point of interest to get them to connect. He seems friendly enough though. Like, even though he's a full-grown man that has a doll obsession, like, he seems like an okay dude. It didn't feel like malicious or like predatory, you know what I'm saying? So they're friendly. He keeps like saying, let me show you my dolls. And she's like, okay. And then I blinked and then they got married. But apparently everyone was really, really happy about this union and everything seems to be going great. Marie had been living with her grandparents up until that point because apparently her parents were killed in an accident. And according to the grandparents, this accident caused Marie to be a little developmentally delayed. The synopsis of the film says that she has some developmental delays, but the grandparents just described it as like she's like a child. However, it's also revealed that she's only 17, so like, what is it to act like a child when you are a child? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, even though she's only 17, everyone's happy, everyone's celebrating, and Marie and Claude go on their little honeymoon and everything is going well. They're snuggling, they're saying how much they love each other, and it's honestly just like good vibes so far. But again, I don't know what the genre of this film is at the time, so I'm like bracing myself for something horrible to happen. I don't know what's gonna happen in this movie, but it feels strangely harmless. However, when we get to the first hotel of the honeymoon, we kind of see that Claude has some sort of like a doll kink, if you will. He likes Marie to close her eyes and not move, and he likes to move her and arrange her. He likes to undress her, bathe her, and dress her. He likes to pick out what she wears. and all this stuff. But yet there's never like, they don't actually like do it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going on with him. But Marie loves the game. She loves it. They're calling it a game. So she loves playing this game with him. After the honeymoon, we return to Woody. I'm calling him Woody because he looks like Woody Harrelson. We return to Claude's huge house, sprawling estate, complete with servants and everything, and he shows Marie the room he has made for her. So he's given her this huge bedroom. I love this bedroom. It is all mint green. It is just like decorated perfectly. He has her all set up with like records and a record player, books, toys, and this wardrobe. And this is where I just have to talk, like the three best things about this film are Marie, her room, and her clothes. If you set me up with that room and that wardrobe, like I'd be good. So yeah, it's giving Orphan Annie coming home with Daddy Warbucks. Like she's just got it all. And the servants are so nice. Like again, everything's kind of going well, except for the fact that she may be a little too young to be getting married. So let's talk about Marie a little bit. I know she's supposed to be like developmentally delayed, but I really, really like her character because I was just kind of interpreting it as that she's in touch with her inner child, you know? She's just got this childlike wonder and curiosity and cheerfulness about her. But she's like a yes girl. Like she says yes to everything and she likes everything and everybody, but she's just so cute and cheerful. And there's this scene where she like wakes up in the morning in her bed and she just like has this huge smile immediately. She's just like really, really happy all the time. She's saying like, I feel like I'm living in a fairy tale. She's loving life, okay? I think she's precious. I really like her actor, and I like her voice. I like how she talks in this film because I guess it's very childlike. She has just this little voice, and I don't know if it's like a French thing or what, but she has a cute little voice and I just love her. However, it doesn't take very long for like Claude is going back to work. He's gone a lot and he starts to become kind of dismissive of her, and they never really explain what this is about or why or anything like that, but he's starting to pull away and she is just like devastated. She's losing her mind. She's like just plunging into this very, very dramatic depression. She's crying all the time. She's feeling very, very unloved, and Claude is just kind of like, ugh. She wants to play the game with him before bed where she pretends to be a doll, and he's just like, I'm too tired. I don't know why he all of a sudden flipped a switch from like worshiping her to just being like, but that's what happened. Marie is just kind of left to her own devices. She's got all the servants in the house and she's got plenty of things to explore and wander around and do, but she just really wants love and affection. At the end of the day, that's what she wants the most, and that's what she's not getting. But aside from Claude being sort of standoffish, up until this point, everyone has been really nice. Like, everyone's just been like a fine, good person. Everyone's been decent. Everything seems to be going okay. I still had this like sinking feeling that something is gonna go south because it's still like, it's a little creepy that a doll man has married a 17-year-old and making her into a doll, right? But nothing is really proven to be worrisome. But the pace of this movie is really slow. It's really slow. And you know what? I don't even know if there's any music in this movie. If there was music, it did not register. There's so much that could have been trimmed down. And the fact that the version I watched was an hour and 45 minutes, I'm like, what's going to be happening in this movie to make it last an hour and 45 minutes? Well, I can tell you, nothing happens in this movie. And I don't know what I'm watching, and I don't know where it's going. I don't know what the point is or what the genre or tone or mood are going to be. So I'm watching with this like confusion and a little bit of apprehension, but a little bit of impatience because nothing's developing. Even the conversations that the people have amongst themselves are just pretty like boring. Like, why are you shaving that sheep? I've got to shave this sheep because it has bugs. Oh, does it hurt to shave this sheep? No, it doesn't. Like, why am I watching this? Well, okay, I'll tell you why I'm watching it. It's because Marie is gorgeous and the wardrobe is gorgeous. And it's another one of those films that's just pretty to look at. But stuff does go south at the end. Ugh. And this is where I'm actually like gonna reveal a little bit of the climax. I'm not telling you about the ending. But towards the end, Marie is just really, really upset because Claude has not come home. Oh, and let me tell you what Claude is doing. He's at a hotel and he ran into a little girl who said she's 6 years old, and then he puts her on his bed and says that they're gonna play a game. And then it cuts off. And they never followed up on that. Anyway, so meanwhile, Marie is really sad at home and she like wanders the grounds talking to people like she does, and she goes to the farmhand's little shack and she knows what she wants. Well, I thought she did. She's looking for affection. She wants some love. We have a daisy rose. She's looking for some love. And so they start, like, she starts kissing him, the farmhand or whatever, and then he goes, wait, you're a virgin? And then she all of a sudden is like, never mind, and tries to run away, and then he grabs her and tries to assault her. But then she stabs him and runs out of the shack. And that's where I'm going to not tell you the ending. So it escalated, like it went real south and it escalated so quickly. And for a film that was generally lighthearted yet mildly creepy, I think it got very dark. It's weird. This is a weird ass movie. And I guess that's the case for most of the French stuff I've watched so far. But it's like, what was that? Was that a drama? Literally, I didn't mean to look, but I Googled it real quick and it showed as a drama / comedy. Bitch, there ain't no comedy in this movie. So yeah, unfortunately, the movie does get rapey at the end. It's not that bad. Like, it wasn't too bad to watch. And it's one of those movies where you can't tell if like he was just trying to get started or if he actually did get started. So I just like to say, oh, he didn't succeed. Okay, so if you want to know the ending of this movie, check out my Letterboxd review, but I'm not going to talk about it here. I will just say the ending was freaking weird. It's almost like horror adjacent if you take into account the ending. Now, while it seemed like a film of nothing, I'm sure you could derive some meanings, some interpretations from the content of this movie. A lot of it is about like the veneration, is that a good word? The veneration of beauty. Like everybody only cares about Marie because she's beautiful and that's all they want from her. Oh, I forgot to mention there's this freaking weird scene in this movie where Marie is visiting her husband's friends. They're a married couple and she takes a bath and then the wife gets in the bath with her and hugs her. But that was all that happened. Anyway, as far as like themes and like meaning behind this movie, there's also this weariness that comes from being a kept woman. You know, sort of the trope of the bored, lonely housewife. I wouldn't be bored in that house, but that's just me. There's a theme of like this just pining for affection. She's like desperate for affection. And I will say, I forgot to mention this, that I think part of what started to push Claude away was when Marie actually started discovering her personhood and kind of breaking Claude's rules. He was not happy about that. So that pretty much sums up Marie the doll. Oh, how do you say it in French? Hold on. Marie-poupée. Poupee? Poupee. I don't know. Highly prefer Don't Deliver Us from Evil, but as a lover of this actor, I enjoyed watching it. Is it a good movie? Is it a bad movie? That's really not the question. It's not really a question you can ask here because this shit is so weird that it almost transcends good and bad. You're just left going, huh? I need to talk about this movie. And that's why I'm here. It's definitely memorable. Just like Eugenie, which I just talked about, it kind of like haunts you a little bit. Like it leaves an imprint you carry it with you, it stays on your mind. And it was really nice to look at, and boring but like pleasant until the terrible raping began. And I honestly might watch that again. I might even own that. I don't know why. Have you seen this? You probably haven't. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed this review. That wraps up this video. Ciao for now.